could just start out by talking a little bit about, like, for someone who's worried about their lower back pain, is that coming from their desk setup? Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, great question. Lower back pain is really a challenging thing to diagnose. There could be 1,000 things going on. But if I were to guess, the lower back pain is usually associated with potentially your desk setup, but also associated with just general immobility. So we forget that as human beings, we were designed to move. We were not designed to sit all day long. We're designed to hunt and gather. And instead, we're sitting and driving and texting, and we're just doing all this immobility. And so what happens is our spine gets really immobile, and especially for sitting for long periods of time. So research has actually told us that we should be moving every 30 to 60 minutes, which I know sounds overwhelming, but the actual research from Cornell University is saying that we should be sitting for 20 minutes, standing for 8 minutes, and stretching for 2 minutes. Okay, I don't know about you, but that's a little crazy. That's a lot of movement. So what I tell people is if we can at least get up every 30 to 60 minutes, stand up, do a stretch, mobilize the spine and mobilize the pelvis. Okay, just something as simple as even like sitting in your chair and kind of rocking your pelvis back and forth can be a really great way of just bringing circulation to that body. And then obviously if that doesn't make your lower back pain go away, then we're going to want to dig a little deeper into it. We're going to want to look at your posture and your alignment, see where your shoulders are, see where your hips are. But that's getting a little more complicated probably off this particular question. But for now, the biggest thing people can do is just get those ergo breaks into their day.
Yeah, and that's a great piece of advice, and I think it's really helpful to understand, especially where you demonstrated like some of those different options. So do you have a couple more of those that you could kind of run through, of just like if I'm sitting in meetings, like you said, right?
Yeah.
We're no longer moving from room to room. So like, how can we get ourselves moving?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a bunch of different ones. So we can, it's tough with the screen that I have
Oh,
here.
yeah.
But we do something all the time in our workshops called elbow curls. So you can kind of take your hands into a little shape here, and then you place it right here on your knuckles. And then we bring our elbows, come join me. You don't have to, let's do it. There you go. Bring your elbows together and then open up wide. Yep, keep going. Everyone on the call can join us. You can get your elbows to touch. You're nice, you got it, beautiful. And we just go in and out like that. You can do like 20 or 30 of those. And that one's actually a really powerful way to get the shoulder joint moving. So what happens when we're sitting and typing all day long, we're rounded forward like this. I'll take this off so you guys can see my body a little bit better in terms of position, but this is a postural position that we don't want to be in. We want to be sitting up here. So an exercise like that is really going to help to open up the shoulders, strengthen the back muscles. So that's a great one. The pelvic tilts that I just showed you, where you're rocking your pelvis back and forward, is another one. And then just something as simple as a wrist stretch. So placing your hand out in front of you, dropping your, exactly, thank you. And then bringing your fingers down and stretching that hand and doing about 30 seconds to a minute on each side, okay? And those are just simple ways to kind of just get the blood flow moving. You don't even have to get out of your chair. Sometimes you don't even have to take your hands off the keyboard. I mean, if you're typing, you can still be moving your pelvis. So you really don't have to take that much of a break to get that movement in.
That's incredible. And thanks so much for showing that. That was really easy to do. I could feel like, I think I'm not sitting with good posture just from the elbow one alone. So
well,
it was good to understand.
Your elbows weren't quite coming together, which is very normal. But what that tells us, if I could just diagnose you on Instagram here, is what that tells us is that your back and your shoulders are probably just a little bit tight, and that's really normal. A lot of people that I teach workshops for, they'll see that those elbows can't come together, and then that's just limited range of motion they're dealing with, and that's why we're doing these exercises, is to increase that range of motion.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely adding that to my daily, as I'm like listening to all these calls. We'll definitely be on that as well.